Hello and welcome. Tonight we are going to be doing an artist trading block, and I did this one for an example, and this is using a lady's diary paper from Graphic 45. And you can see I popped her up. If you can see on the side there, she's popped up. And then here's the side. And then the back, and the other side, and then the feet. I used some wood beads and some bead caps, and for the top I used a glass knob, and that's what it looks like. But tonight we're going to be doing something a little bit different, a little bit fun. So I do have the wood blocks available in my store, thealteredmusestudio.com, and if you click at the tab at the top that says Altered Art Supplies, you will find it. And when you get them, they're pre-sanded. All you have to do is put your paint on them. For this one, I put gesso on first, and then I used my magical micas, and these are from Lindy's Stamp Gang, and they're a powder, and I use Ramblin' Rose Pink. It's a powder. Can you see? It's real loose in there. See if I can get some to move. And all you do is you take some out with your paintbrush, and you add a little water to it, and it gives like a shimmery color, and this is the color that it came out with. And I don't know if you can see the shimmery, probably not because of the way my light's situated, so you guys can see what I'm doing. I'm trying to find an angle that you can see it. Okay, so now what all you have to do is figure out what you're going to put on your block. And these are just like doing ATCs, only you're doing them on a block. And I'm just going to show you the paper that I used. Tonight I am using the Cut and Create Ephemera, the Mad Tea Party, and this is the Marion Smith paper collection. And it's amazing. This ephemera is amazing. That's one sheet. And you can see I'm going to be doing, and these are 12 by 12, an Alice in Wonderland theme. So I'm going to set those aside because I have already pre-cut out some, and all I did was I put the images, I cut my paper, my background paper, to fit inside the block here. So you can see there's going to be like a little border, and that's why I painted the block. There's going to be like a little border around the paper. So that would go on just like that. Okay. And all I did, and let me pull the paper back so I can show you what I did. If you can see this, whoops, where am I? Okay, right here. If you can see this image right here, I cut that out. And then the quote that I used, I'm looking for it. I think it might be on the other sheet. Let me see. Yeah, I don't see it. Oh, no, here it is. Over here, it says, why sometimes I've believed as many as 6 impossible things before breakfast. And that's what I put with this image that I cut out. And then for Alice, and this is my Alice image. Whoop, let me get in the, I don't know if you guys can see that. I cut out the dress Alice. I cut her out and put her in this cute little blue dress. And then I cut the teacup out of this image right here, and I actually made a slit in like where the inside of the cup would be, and I tucked Alice inside there. And then the quote I used is right here, and it says, "You would have to be half mad to dream me up." And all I did was shrink this down with my scanner because it wouldn't fit on my size. So you can see how small the wording is. Ooh. There we go. And that's what I did for the two sides. And then all you have to do is Mod Podge them on, and that's what we're going to do. So I'm just going to make sure I have the right side here. And I'm going to get out my bottle of Mod Podge. Oh, Froggy's on her way. Yes, Christine, it's Alice in Wonderland. And wait till you see what my feet and the top is going to be for my artist trading block. That's a special surprise. Okay, so I just put some Mod Podge on the back of Alice, and I'm just going to line her up on here and stick her down. Oh, and I did use a clock charm, and it's a warped clock. You guys can see that. I don't know why I'm off center here. My camera's off center. Hang on. Let me get you. Okay. There we go. Hi, Froggy. So I have this little warped clock. So there is one side. And I'm going to flip it over. And we're going to put this one down now. These are super easy. So I'm just going to make sure I have these the right direction before I stick it down. And I may have to trim over there. Let's see how we're doing up here. I'm just fussing with it a little bit. So I have a little hangover over here, so I'm going to grab my little schnazzy. Look at that. It's an emery board. And I'm just going to shave it off where I just glued that down because there was a little bit of a hangover. No big deal, we can handle it. And that's all you're going to do. If you cut your paper just a little bit too big, you can just go and shave it off with a emery board. Let me grab my scissors. See if I can scratch it off a little bit. There we go. And then I'm just going to take, I'm using the Vintage Photo Distress ink. And I'm just going to go around that. Just to match it up because I did use that around the edges. Okay. So, now we have, yep, it's Marion Smith. It's, I'll grab the paper thing again. It's actually her cut and create ephemera. And this is from the Mad Tea Party collection. This is the small ephemera. Okay. And this one just says ephemera, the cut and create ephemera. And these are much larger. But there's really cool images. And the back of this one is gorgeous. Look at the back of this. Yes, it's a wood block. And the back of the other one is this pattern. But I didn't use any of that. I actually used, I'm so prepared. To get the backgrounds for these, I actually used a Prima paper pad called Princess. And they have in this paper pad, let me find it, they have a sheet for ATCs. And that's all I did was cut these out and then cut them down to fit. Where do I get it? Well, I got it from my distributor. I'm not sure. I'm sure you could find it online. Okay. So now I'm going to do this top. I need to put this top piece up here because you want to cover all sides with your paper. So I'm going to glue down my top piece, and I just, to measure these out, and I'll show you in just a second here. Let me get this on. This one's going to have to be sanded too. That's okay. To measure these, let me think of where I put my papers here. Let me grab this. Okay. So I have my paper here. So if you wanted to do, let's say, one of the front sides, you're just going to lay your paper down on your block, and I like to line it up in the corner, and then just trace around the two sides and then cut it out, and then of course trim it down because you kind of want some of the wood block to hang over, to, you know, you don't want to completely cover the block or butt the seams up, but if you want to, you can. I just think it's better not to. My personal preference. I'm just going to trim my excess off right here. Can I get it? Oh, file. And then hit it with my ink pad. So I have my top piece on. Excuse my chair, keeps going down for some reason. Okay, so then the two sides, this is also from the ephemera paper, and this is from the bigger pieces, and all I did was reduce them in size 60% in my scanner. So I was able to fit them on the sides of my block. Okay. So I'm going to glue this one down because I actually cut out a background for this one. And this one says, "Drink Me, Shrinking Brew, perfect for tiny doors. Wonder, for the curious at heart, the wondrous mind, and the venturous soul." And that's going to go on the side over here. So I'm just going to... Okay, I am back. For some reason, it stopped recording. No worries. You didn't miss anything. I just put the side on. Okay? Can I print off the Marion's... Well, it's not really, I'm not really printing it off. I just needed to shrink the image down. And this is for personal use. So, I don't see a problem with it. It's not like I'm going to sell her paper. Oh, I don't know what my setting is on my printer so I can get the image right. So then here's the Drink Me bottle. And that came from, it's huge. You can see it right here. It's huge. And it was too big for my block. So I needed to shrink it down. And there's the tag. That was also huge. So I just shrunk it down. And as long as you're using it for personal use, I don't see what the problem is. Obviously, don't shrink it down and then resell it or anything. So I just picked some paper. And I'm going to glue my paper down first, and then we're going to put the bottle on it. And I may pop it. All right. Oh, no, no, no. No, I just shrunk it down. I don't know, she might have, I don't know if she has digital or not. I never looked. Maybe I should have looked. Probably could have saved myself a lot of problems of trying to resize it so it would fit on the hair. Who knows? So I think I'm going to pop my bottle off the side. So let me grab some pop dots here. And I have, I'm going to show you the difference of what I have. So I have some thick, they have a thick cushion. You see how thick that is? I have thick ones, and then I have thinner ones. So you always kind of want to have, with your pop dots, you want to have like thick ones and thin ones because you don't want this popping off the side too much, but you do want to give a little dimension. These are great to have. They're a pain in the butt to get out, but they're great to have. You know what? I'm going to use my other ones. I have some flat ones here. Those ones are round, and they are hard to get out of the you know, the wrapper, whatever it is. So I prefer the square ones anyway. I don't know why I have the round ones. Usually don't buy round. Must have came in a set or something. So I just have a few pop dots on here. I'm just going to peel my backs off. Or not. I'm going to get it. So then I'm just going to kind of center this on my block and stick it down, just like that. So you can see I have just enough dimension off the block, and I use that for Alice and the little teacup, the thinner pop dots, and same for the little teacup image here. Okay, so now we're going to move on, and I told you that I had a surprise for you guys. So I went to the dollar store the other day, and I was strolling down the toy aisle, and I was actually looking for the little porcelain tea sets, and I didn't find any, but I did find this set, and it is plastic, but the colors were wrong. So what I did was I painted them. There's the teapot. And here's the teacup and saucer. There's the teacup. And then there's the saucer. And to achieve this, all I did was I put 3 coats of gesso on here. I started out with real light coat, and then I made a thicker coat and an even thicker coat. And the paint colors I used is a Folk Art Metallic Blue Topaz. And for the pink and the hearts on the saucer and then the pink cup, I used Anita's all-purpose acrylic, and this is taffeta pink color. And then over top of the pink, I added some Folk Art Extreme Glitter in the rose color. Okay. And then all I did was I painted the turquoise on, or the blue color on first. And then I actually went over it with a gold pen where you see gold on. Can you see the gold on there? Around the heart. Let me get it at an angle where you can see it. It's very faint. This heart is gold. And then I went around the edge of the lid with this gold paint pen. And these are, what are these? I think these are Elmer's. Is this Elmer's? Yeah. Elmer's Painter's pens. And I have the gold. So I went around the edge. I went around the edge of the handle and the spout and along the edge of the base of the teapot. And then for the teacup and saucer, I went around the edges of the saucer with this paint pen, around the edge of the cup lid, lip, I should say, and around the edge of the handle here. And I did color some of the hearts, the smaller hearts, gold on the saucer. So then when it was all done, it was a little bright. So what I did to tone it down just a little bit is I used the Adirondacks Alcohol Ink in Mushroom. Oh, did you hear me? What did you say? Oh, I have to pack it carefully. Yes, I will pack it carefully. I promise. I just went over. I just used I didn't put it on the little alcohol ink felt pads. I didn't put it on my tool. I just held it in my hand and I went around and just kind of dabbed it and spread it around just a little bit. So it gave it kind of an older look to it. So let's glue the base on so we can finish decorating this. How's that sound? So my base was actually, and let me grab this, what's this called? The saucer and the teacup, and this is what they looked like originally, and I just glued it. I glued the teacup to the saucer after I painted it. Oh, and you know what, guys? This set also comes with the cutest little spoons ever. Hi, Christine. Or Kristen. Sorry. Hi. Just ignore me tonight. I can't seem to talk or remember people's names. So I'm using my Beacon 3-in-1. If you're wondering what kind of adhesive to use, you can actually use hot glue if you wanted to. I'm just a Beacon girl, so I like my Beacon adhesives. And I'm putting a good amount of glue on this, because we want it to stick. So then, I am just going to line this up. And stick it on there. Making sure I'm center. Okay. So that's what it's going to look like so far. Okay. And I'm just going to let it sit here for a minute so the glue can tack up. I just have to put some pressure on it. I don't want it to move. So while that is drying, I'm actually going to glue the teapot on top. And then we're going to decorate around it. But before I do that, I need to hold this for a minute so you guys can look at it. There. If I can get my hand out of the way. I think that should... I may have to break out the hot glue gun. Because it's... The one side is set, but this side, the front and back piece isn't, so... Alright. So I just need to decide which should be the front. So do you guys like the teapot facing this way with Alice on the front? Or should I have it this way? Alice? Okay. Alright, so I'll make it so this is facing out towards Alice. Just have to hold it on there for a few minutes. Smack the peanut. Peanut commercials. That's a new one. So I think it is going to hold. So there is what we have so far. Oops, and there goes my teapot. See, I was tilting it. Should have waited. That's okay, the glue's still wet. I just gotta reposition it. Now I'm not gonna tilt it up towards you guys again. so you can see until it's dry. We're going to decorate. Oh, shoot, before I did that, hang on. It's a good thing. I need to rip this off. You know why? Because I have a little fabric doily that I was going to stick on the top here before I stuck the teapot on. See? I need to get my steps straight. Okay. Now I can stick this on. And it'll look better. Oh, it's 12 by 12. The Alice in Wonderland stuff. Yeah, it's 12 by 12. I think she does have the 6 by 6 too. I got it from the Dollar Tree, my dollar store. This is what it looked like before. See, there it is. I bought 2 sets. And I painted it all up. And now, as soon as this adheres, I can show you. Thinking I need to put just a little bit of glue underneath this doily. Just a little bit more glue. There. Okay. Just making sure everything's sticking here. Okay. So then I'm just going to decorate around the bottom of the teapot. So I have these little flourishes that I had cut apart. And I don't have one that I didn't cut apart. But it's a cherry lid die. Hang on. I got to find my cherry lid. I'll show you the die. Hang on just 1 second. Let me find it. Oh, you're in here somewhere. I use it all the time. Hang on a second. So you guys can see. Oh, there it is. It is a tiny fanciful flourish left and right. This is the die that I used. Oops. I don't know why I'm off center today. And the number is B387. And you can go to cherrylindesigns.com and get it there. And I've used it on a lot of projects, so it's kind of well worth the purchase. And it's small. That's what I like, because I do a lot of smaller projects. So I'm just going to adhere it, because we're going to add a flower. Oh, you guys can't see what I'm doing, I'm sorry. don't want to, so if I pick it up, I'm going to hold it like that. So there, I have a little flower. Can you see the flower on the top? There. And I have a little bunny, metal bunny, and it was a charm, and I cut the little loop off of it, and we're gonna glue Mr. Bunny right up on the top there because he's very Alice in Wonderland. He's kind of hard to work with. Just give me a second here. And I just have to glue him to the teapot just to stabilize him just a wee bit. So now I can show you. You see my bunny? Isn't he cute? This one was the size of this wood. It's 2 inches wide by 3 inches tall. This particular one, but the bigger one that I made was 5 inches tall by 2 inches wide. This one. Yeah, the video does lag the chat. It's just Ustream. So now I'm going to do the same thing to the back. I have another one of my little flourishes. And I'm going to go in the opposite direction. So I'm going to put the flourish on this side. Like that. And I have my little flower. And I'm just going to stick it right on there, just like that. And for this side, I actually have a top hat. A metal top hat, which was also a charm. And I just took the little loopy thing off. And I'm going to stick this one in here. And I'm just going to give it a little more glue so it can hold up. We have some noisy kids on our block. Okay, so let me turn it around. So there's the flower and the little hat. Hi, Diamond. So now I need to add, I want to let this sit up just a wee bit before I need to add a little trim along the bottom. And some bling. So I'm just going to use this, it's like a little looped trim. It's very tiny. So what I am going to do, let me see, so I don't want to knock my stuff off, so I'm just going to lay it down like this. There. Okay. And I'm just going to glue this trim right along the edge at the bottom. Like that. And now I'm just going to turn it. And I'm going to run it all the way around. And I'm actually going to add the glue to the trim here because I have to try, I'm going to try to tuck it underneath this teacup like that. And then whoops. I have it kind of waving here. I gotta fix it. Gotta have some straight trim. Okay. So now last side. And I'm gonna clean the tip of my bottle off. I'm kind of getting glue everywhere. Just going to snip off. There we go. Oops, and now I made the trim a little wavy. It's okay, we're going to fix it. Just trying to tuck the loops up underneath. There we go. That's better. Alright, so now I have a little, these little tiny turquoise rhinestones, and I get all my bling from Want to Scrap, and same with the little, what do you call it? The pink rhinestones. So I'm just going to add some of these little turquoise rhinestones. I don't know if I'm going to add the pink, I kind of just like the turquoise. Just kind of trying to eyeball it. Okay, so let me do this side now. These little tiny ones are hard to manipulate. this side now. Oh, and this one fell off the edge. My trim fell off the edge here. Gotta tuck it back up there. Alright. And I'm just gonna go around all these. This is so much fun. I think if I had to do it all over again, I'd pick a little bit bigger rhinestone. These are hard to work with. I've had them for forever too. There we go. And last side, oops, and I moved trim again. I need to stop moving the trim. Okay, that one's all right. Okay. Last side. Oops. Kind of slid on me there. And this one I gotta try to tuck it underneath that little cup a little bit. There. I'm not sure if I space these. But hey, it's Alice in Wonderland and nothing has to be perfect, right? Okay. So there is the trim. Just making sure. Can you guys see that? Just adds a little bit. You went to wash your hands and you're getting yelled at. Who yelled at you? Oops. Okay. So let me back this up a little bit so you guys can see. Okay, there. Now you can see the whole thing. So there's the side. There's the other side. And there's the side. And then we're back to the front. Oh, look at that. We're all done. Isn't that cute? No, I did not paint this tea set on camera because I didn't, wasn't sure if it was going to work out, but it did. I'll go over it again. All I did, let me set this down. The first thing I did was did one light coat of gesso, let that dry, came back and did another coat of gesso and let that dry, and came back again with a heavier coat and let it dry. Okay? After it dried, I then used the Folk Art Metallic Blue Topaz. And it's best if you use like a metallic paint because I don't know what is in this, but it sticks to everything. So I used the metallic paint. And then for the hearts and the pink on the teacup, I used the taffeta pink color. And this is Anita's all-purpose acrylic craft paint. I think this is a Hobby Lobby brand. Okay, and then over top of that pink, I actually used the Folk Art Extreme Glitter in rose colored. So that just that's all I did. And then I thought that the blue was a little too bright, so I kind of toned it down a little bit with the Adirondacks mushroom color alcohol ink. And this is what I got. Let me see so you can see the teapot. So you can see that it looks old and vintagey. And then once everything dried, I actually went over the edge of the teapot, the spout, and the handle with the Elmer's painter's pens in gold. So that is how easy that was. Super, super easy. And I do have the artist trading blocks for sale in my store, and they are already sanded. All you have to do when you get them is paint them, stamp them, add paper, whatever you want to do to them. They're all set and ready to go. So here is that one, and then here's the other one that I did. And this is a large block, so you guys can see the difference. And then this would be considered a small block. The Alice is a smaller block. And you're just going to create on them just like if you've done ATCs, artist trading cards. It's the same thing. It's just on a block. And these are so cute to give as gifts too because they're very unique. So that is that. Does anybody have any questions? And I promise I will take pictures and put them up on Facebook and on the store blog so you guys can see them both. Is there any questions? Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, I got my tea set. They're a little plastic one at Dollar Tree. So if you have a Dollar Tree, any dollar store is going to have these in the toy section. They may not look exactly the same, but it's the same concept. Yes, when shall I expect this? I don't know. It depends because my daughter's coming up tomorrow and she loves Alice in Wonderland. She might steal it, Christine. You better get over here and fight for it. Yes, it would. In the little domino book that I sent you. Hide it. Oh no, black screen. Next week, and I forgot to bring it up here. I have I designed a new box. and it's a thread spool box, and I'm going to show you what you can do with that for next week's show. Does that sound good? Okay, if there are no more questions, I'm going to actually stop recording.